Hey, what's up everyone, and welcome to tonight's episode of Resident Roleplay. This is a show where a group of friends and I get together and play homebrewed tabletop RPG set in the world of Resident Evil. I'm your host and GM, and welcome back everybody.
Yep.
Alright.
Hello.
Hi.
The gang's all here. I also see the chat's been filling up. Hey, Ralph Abiki, nice to see you. Nice and early to the stream. So, grab your popcorn. We're now out of the opening sequence of this story arc and ready to get into the thick of things. So
you're saying that was just the beginning?
That was just the beginning. I'm still a little, just the tiniest bit still sick from like the last 2 weeks. So, I'm like 90% now. So I should be better, generally speaking, this week than I was last. But hopefully my voice holds up. Well, my voice has been fine, but it's just I'm a little nasally. I'm sure it'll be fine. Everything will be fine. That being said, it has been a super busy week. And one of the things that we've been working on, which some of you may have seen, to mention it briefly here at the start. Now, this isn't really Resident Roleplay related, but does involve pretty much the majority of our cast, which is that the Trial of the Century teaser trailer is going to be premiering on a live stream tomorrow over on Bryger's channel. If you don't know Bryger, he is this machinima creator, created the Shattered Crown series and other such hits. Tomorrow he's going to be doing a live stream to premiere the finale of his big series, Knights of Frost 2. And during that stream, he is going to premiere the official teaser trailer for a machinima that we've been working on for a long time. I was kind of on the back burner for a bit, and now we're finishing up. And that's super exciting. So that's going to be tomorrow, Sunday, March 8th. And I believe he's starting around 2 p.m. Eastern time. So be sure to be there. But if you missed that, it is also going to be going up on our YouTube channel later that same week.
You know, I'm looking for his channel so I can post it in the chat.
Oh, yeah. If you could post that in the Twitch
chat. I don't
chat.
know if I'm following him.
That's horrible. You've literally produced the videos on his channel.
Found it. Yeah, I am following him. Yeah. He's just way on the bottom of the list.
But yeah, so that's exciting, and that involves actually a lot of the cast of Resident Roleplay, and just has a really exciting cast in general, which is going to be revealed officially in that teaser. We got a full cast reveal of all of the major players in that, so that's going to be really exciting. So that's going to be a Minecraft machinima that will be coming out later on. We're also going to be announcing the release date with that trailer, so be sure to give that a look if you're able to make it live, or otherwise watch the trailer on the YouTube channel later that week.
Yep, I'll probably be in the actual stream as well, because I'm a producer.
That's true.
So,
will you be on the stream?
I might be on the stream.
Okay, that's interesting. I'm definitely. I don't know. I don't think I'm not scheduled to be on the stream, but I am going to be in the chat for sure. Yeah. So feel free to hang out with us then.
I'm fairly certain I'm actually going to make it because it's at 2 Eastern. I'll be awake by then, so...
There you go. So...
Yeah, so I'm actually... I will be there. I'll be in it.
Mm-hmm.
Doing it.
You know?
So there we go. Got another appearance for you. Also, you're not John Smith anymore on Roll20.
Oh!
That said, let's get into tonight's episode of Resident Roleplay. So, previously on Resident Roleplay, aboard the USS Valerian, which had been hijacked by the Manifold, CIA agents Mr. G and Mrs. X stole a cache of Manifold intel and fled with their new robot companion Enyo, just as the ship launched 3 intercontinental ballistic missiles with bioweapon payloads. Minutes later, one missile struck Manila, which unleashed T-Abyss monstrosities on Katara and her scientist allies who had been lured there. Meanwhile, Chauncey was called into a routine meeting at the BSAA's North American HQ, where word reached him that the other missiles struck cities in California and Mexico. Walker then personally led an assault on the HQ and commanded another assault on Camp Clancy. Director Ironside, the director of the BSAA, did not survive, but despite unexpected treachery, Chauncey did, and he rallied his troops to defend both bases. at the cost of many lives, but he was ultimately victorious. So, hours before the battle for Camp Clancy, though, Mr. G, your partner, Mrs. X, and your robot, Enyo, ride aboard the submersible after speeding away from the USS Valerian. It's a long journey back to the naval base at the coast, but you can get there over the course of a long rest if you take turns at the helm.
All right.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
All right. So y'all take the time to rest.
Get anything back. We didn't take any damage, I don't think. I think the only one who actually took damage was Enyo.
Yeah. Yeah, she's definitely been scuffed up a bit. You see some damage and marks on her metallic form.
And we're heading back to the west coast.
Yeah, heading back to the west coast. So, yeah, if you all are gonna take a long rest, again, get half your hit dice back. I don't know if anybody needs it, but you could also spend hit dice and whatnot if anybody needs it. And it's interesting, you actually see with Enyo, she doesn't actually really go to sleep. She just kind of goes into a dormant state for when she's resting. Kind of a low power mode.
I'm going to draw something on her.
Just shut off. But you have a feeling she's still aware of everything.
You're still drawing something on her?
Yeah.
All right, what are you drawing?
I don't know. I'm just doodling.
All right.
Just passing the time.
You doodle some lines onto
Me?
her arm.
Yeah. By the end of it, I want her to look like me.
So you
What
start.
do you think you are doing?
Sprucing you up a bit. You're part of the team now.
Not draw any kind of crude markings on me. Otherwise, I will resort to violence.
Problem is, once we get back to the rest of our friends, how are they going to know you are friendly? See, this is how we all know where everybody is. You see, like all these.
I'm not sure if I would be considered friendly to begin with.
You're an ally. That makes you friendly.
I am not an ally.
All right, say that again, but louder.
I will not repeat myself.
I will go down with this ship if it needs taking out an enemy.
I am not an ally, but I am not an enemy. I am
Right.
myself.
I'd just the both of you. Can you like relax just a little bit? It's a nice smooth ride back.
I am completely relaxed.
I don't know when the last time my heart rate went over resting. So
I guess.
So you all try to calm yourselves.
all right, who's up next?
For the long 8 hours heading back to the coast. You guys managed to find some sleep. Again, taking turns at the helm, navigating back to the West Coast naval base from which you deployed. And eventually, whoever would have been at the helm last would find that you guys are approaching by around evening, around 5 p.m. on May the 1st. Naval Base Martinez, which was the base from which you had deployed and borrowed this submersible.
May I ask where that naval base is?
It's in a city, the city of San Martinez.
Okay. Is that in California?
It is.
Cool. All right, let's get the base.
All right, so who's at the helm towards the end of this
Let's roll
journey?
for
Just
it.
for
Let's see who is.
Yeah.
So in order of roll 20, I'm 1, 2. Well, I'll just say Katara. Actually, Miss X, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So X is 2, 3, and
She
change
gonna
your
give it
names.
to
And Enyo is 5, 6. Yeah.
Hi.
So the robot's at the helm.
Which she seems to be surprisingly adept at. Once she gets to know the interface, she could just sort of...
How does what's the name? How does Walker know about our submersible controls? That's unsettling.
But she seems to adapt to it pretty quickly. And just like glancing about the controls, picks it up really fast, and basically just operates the machine like a machine. But, Enyo, you do see by the instruments that you are approaching your destination. And as you approach the shore, you see silhouettes floating in the deep waters.
See that in the water.
Sorry, what was that?
She point.
You said she points? Yeah, you point out some of these shapes. They look to be silhouettes, just human-sized silhouettes. And as you sort of orient your headlights to illuminate them, you see the bloodied corpses of sailors weighed down by their military gear, sinking, drifting below the waves. Around them float pieces of debris, some of which peels from the side of a wrecked cruiser which lies sunken on the ocean floor. This is all very near the place your navigation instruments tell you is Naval Base Martinez. Very immediately near.
All right, looks like we missed the party. So everybody strap up. Looks like we're going to be hitting some rough waters once we get to shore. Or, yeah.
Are we floating by? Are we coming by like some bodies that just gotta pass us?
Basically, yeah, like some kind of bump off the hull, just very lightly, given their lack of weight in their current floating position. And it's kind of eerie, just seeing these shapes just passing by the front windshield of your submersible, and then disappearing out of view as you go.
How many bodies are we talking about?
A ship's worth, at least.
Yeah, it looks like maybe dozens.
I'm not excited about this, but maybe some more action.
I'm just hoping we're presumed dead already and we can get in here and no one's expecting us.
If only it were that simple.
Yeah, it's never that simple, is it? And Mr. G's just like cleaning out his rifle.
Nope. She's polishing her karambit and kitchen knife. Steak knife.
All
Do you
right.
want to... Hold on, actually, do I have my good knife on me? I don't think I do. I think I have that at base. Yeah. Oh, well.
All right. So, Enyo, do you continue to bring it up to emerge?
Yeah, she will.
All right. So you operate the controls and begin increasing your elevation steadily, gradually, as you have across the entirety of this trip to make sure you don't get any decompression sickness. But as you guys approach the shore, you emerge the submersible beside the position where the sunken cruiser was below. And you see it pretty much brings you right by the docking area of the naval base. The sun is setting on the long, flat cityscape in the distance. You also see plumes of smoke arising from the downtown far off. A few distant gunshots just pop like firecrackers. Aside from that, all is eerily quiet and calm. But you have emerged. You are by the docks. You can disembark, should you choose.
Is there, looking at the this like docking area? This is on the naval base.
This is on the naval base, correct? This is the place from which you deployed.
Looking at the docking area, does it look like it's completely empty?
Make a perception check.
Oh, that was 20.
Yeah, the 3D dice just teetered on a 20.
That's a 6. Damn it, Enyo, I can't see shit. Where's the lights?
Well, yeah, now as you step out, it's still like the sort of evening sun over this whole place. It's a kind of orange sky, and everything is well lit, but you still can't get a good view.
Oh, no, we're out of the submersible already?
Yeah, at this point you've emerged. You've emerged from the waters, and you have a chance to step out onto the naval base. But you see, just immediately, the base is in disarray. There are pools of blood and the bodies of sailors scattered across the pavement. Maybe even a few dozen more in addition to the ones you saw in the waters. The walls of the barracks are in ruin, kind of charred by the now faded flames and blown apart by some destructive battle. But, with your perception check, you kind of stumble out and don't really see much beyond that, just the superficial details. In fact, you even fail to notice until it sort of comes around your legs, a hand that just reaches for you.
Come on, that's an 8.
I see.
That's a natural 20.
Nope, that's cocked. Roll it again.
Actually, the 3D dice went off screen for me, so...
Oh, really? On my end, it's super cocked.
Yeah,
that's really cocked right now.
Well, chat says it's a nat 20, so you get a nat 20.
Yeah. Everyone knows that chat's always right.
Nom.
So you take 14 points of piercing and necrotic damage as a hand just like wraps around your legs and just like sends a bite straight into your shin. And looking down, you see a zombie that appears to not have any legs. Its legs are just torn straight off. And there's blood seeping out of those open wounds, but it has just been crawling around the ground.
I'm just gonna like instinctively just like let out a string of expletives that may or may not be racist in nature, and just stab it with a katana.
All right, go ahead and make an attack roll with advantage since it's technically prone.
Ooh, that's a good thing I used the katana.
You got a nice mouth on you there.
And Mrs. X, Mrs. X and Enyo.
Get it off!
Mrs. X and Enyo, both of you see beyond this that another zombie figure seems to be trudging around the base, and with this commotion is now sort of heading in your direction. This one's missing its left arm, and it appears to be in some sort of uniform. The one at Mr. G's legs is in civvies, basically, just like it appears to be a regular citizen.
27 to hit.
Hits. Which I guess at advantage, so sneak attack.
Like 27 to hit, nah.
Okay. So that's just a standard. Okay, yeah. I'm trying to remember how there's a lot of options I've got on this katana. So this is just straight versatile since I have no other weapons in my hand. With sneak attack.
Oh,
41 points of damage.
All right, so you just sort of, like a dagger, just sink the katana down into its head and just pin its head against the pavement, and you feel the grip loosen around you as that other zombie just lumbers towards you.
there's
gonna
another
take-
straggler coming over to you.
Oh, yeah. Just. Yeah.
You're gonna katana that one as well?
I'm just gonna be like, I got bit. Shoot it. I might hit that if it's getting closer too.
Yeah, it's a little ways out, but it'll get
is
to
it?
you
Okay.
eventually.
I'm just gonna like, just hobble back a little bit. Pull out a weapon.
All right.
Pull out a firearm.
Still just kind of lumbering
Yeah,
towards you as a stiff breeze sort of blows by. Some just like loose paper and dust sort of scatters about this whole decrepit naval base landscape that is just creepy and abandoned now with all
I
of these
forget.
bloodstains.
Miss X and Enyo, do you guys have suppressed weapons? Firearms.
Oh, did I get the suppressor?
What's that?
So probably not then. You can get a suppressor to remain hidden
no, I
when
don't.
shooting at people.
I,
If not-
I need to check back in.
I know X is good at.
Wait, didn't
Wait,
Mrs. X
right?
have a suppressed shotgun? Or was it not? I don't remember.
I don't. Hold on. I'm gonna go back into the chat real quick because like it's not on the sheet, but where's
No. Yeah, I brought up her character sheet. It does say it's suppressed on there.
It does. Oh, why don't I have it down?
It's on
then?
the
I have
second
it.
bulky slot. It says suppressed.
Oh, it's on the second one.
Yeah.
Oh I must have sent you one that was like not updated.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Or you don't have an updated version. Which one is it?
Oh,
Well, I got this from you, so how would?
Hold on. I'm gonna quickly go back up and download this since it's not too far up the chat. Because
All right, either way.
swear-
I'm gonna mention that if you think your weapon might not be suppressed, let's stick to blades. Actually, we don't know how
Damn it.
many more of these are going to be sticking around, and if we can go through as quietly as possible, we're gonna have to find a communications room. We're gonna have to find something, and we don't want to have to walk into a wall of things that bite my freaking leg until we get there.
You feel
Look at that.
the weight of that manifold hard drive still in your side pocket.
Do I have that, or does X have that?
No, you have it because you took it right off of Mr. U's body.
Oh, I do. Okay.
That's right. Right after we started, I was right when we started running.
Yeah.
Okay. I do have it. I just forgot to put it down.
All right. So the
So
zombies
we're good.
lumbering towards you.
I'm just gonna have her get out and then like
Let's go together so we can give ourselves a sneak attack.
yeah, one hand karambit, the other one the steak knife.
All right.
You need to get that. You need to get something better than that.
India is going full fisticuff.
All right. So you all just close in on this zombie as it approaches. Who's making
who's
the
gonna
roll
roll first? I mean, average damage, it's dead, right? Two agents walking in and like a freaking punch bot.
Let's see the rolls though.
So I'll roll with Mrs. X first
All right.
on the steak knife. That's a +1. I mean,
Hits.
This zombie's standing. The only one that was crawling was the one that.
Yeah, this one is standing. The one with no legs is the one that was wrapped around your ankles. But this one is walking towards you. But he is missing an arm.
And then I'm going to also just because she can, I'm gonna add bleed to this.
All right, and sneak attack since it's
Yeah,
engaged
and
with your
sneak attack.
allies.
Oh yes. $29, just 29 slashing, just.
All right, so given that it was already partially injured, you are pretty readily and easily able to just like come in with that knife and just slit its throat at a vital artery, given the extra bleed damage, and the creature just collapses after a few seconds of just sort of headless chicken trying to get its hands on you, but then it just falls to the floor and splatters.
Well, watch it. Zombies are still dangerous when headless. Try to move as fast as we can towards a communications room.
Okay, there are a number of buildings around you at this naval base, and you had some time to explore it before you deployed. You would know there's about 5 buildings in total. There's a barracks, like a quarters kind of thing. There's an armory, there's an infirmary, there's a vehicle depot, but there is also a radio tower that would have some form of communication equipment.
All right, we need to hit that first. And then maybe an infirmary for my leg.
All right, let's get going then.
Yeah. You know that one attack did a quarter of my health?
What? Oh no!
So, you all move
It was a crit though, so...
It was a crit. It was a tiny crit, but it was a crit. But, so you all are moving as a group towards this radio tower?
Yep.
All
and
right.
I guess it's just for putting it out there. Me and X already went. Enyo gets to punch the next zombie.
Yeah.
Hey, she just runs up and fucking smacks it in the face.
Wait, the dead one
Whenever
or
we get to it.
the next one?
Just whenever we get up to the
Alright.
Whenever we can see the next one.
She's just gonna run up and just punch through it, and we're just gonna keep going.
All right, so you all enter the radio tower. It's got a few levels to it, but exploring the interior, you do find that the much of the equipment here is damaged beyond repair.
Oh, come on.
And all else where there might have been some more, there look to be some empty spaces, but that looks to have been cleared out. Looks like some of the equipment has been moved, or removed in this case, in a hurry.
And none of the equipment here is usable.
Doesn't seem to be.
Damn.
Do either of you know what happened here?
My guess is it's the Manifold.
I'm not sure
Okay.
about that.
I mean,
This does not seem like the Manifold.
at this point, everything seems like the Manifold. Especially since they've just started their big attack. I'm sure they're going to start hitting as many cities as they can, just with infantry, with soldiers, with whatever they've got. They're just going to start throwing things out there. They want to make this chaos for people like us doing our job. At least that's what I would do.
Why target here, though?
I don't know why, but I can't imagine this is out of the normal. I'm assuming this is a lot of places currently look like this.
You may be correct.
No, back in my time, when I was doing a little bit of hit and runs here and there, I know, hitting communications and just knocking out any place that we could was good enough. Could set a distraction, right? It all
Yeah.
depends, though. Not sure what their motive is or how their tactics are, but
I don't know what they're doing. All I know is that they're doing it, and a lot of it. 3 intercontinental ballistic missiles, now Navy base on the East Coast or on the West Coast. We can only assume Camp Clancy looks like this right now.
Targeted attacks and.
Wait, you guys don't know Camp Clancy. You're not from Camp Clancy. He would say the BSA headquarters.
Okay. Just targeted attacks then. Maybe to set off confusion. Because if you don't know, or if everything is getting hit, you can't necessarily go through and try to find a target, because you're going to have to go through and deal with everything else that's going on in the areas.
I'm hoping we need to find a working computer somewhere. I'm hoping whatever we got on this is going to give us some answers. But first, we need to find a way to contact the team.
Yeah.
We need to tell them. And Mr. G just slowly contemplates his next words carefully. It's just like, we failed.
Well, that comes with the territory. We just got to make sure we don't fail or fuck up the next thing.
Yeah. So let's get on it. We need to find some place that we can get a word out. We need to find anything. Whoever took these, it is communications equipment that was taken, right?
Yeah. Yeah, not necessarily small stuff either, full on consoles and stuff.
Whoever took this has to be set up somewhere. We need to find them. If they're friendlies, we need to use it. If they're not, we need to use it.
Of course. Let's get a move on then. Let's see if we can find it.
Affirmative.
Is there any way we can see if they were dragged? Follow where they were dragged?
Yeah.
Make an investigation check.
Oh.
Who's got high? I mean, I've got a pretty high investigation, but not insane.
I've got a +9.
Same with me.
Okay.
I can. One of us will help the other one.
Okay, so who's going to be making the roll then?
Here, guys, I got this.
What's Enyo's investigate?
Just at +0.
+0.
+0? Alright, so we'll help Enyo by making our roll.
Right. If anything, I'll
Mr. G will help X.
okay. Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, the 27.
enough.
Ooh, 27. So, you
20 swagons?
analyze the tracks. You see some scrape marks along the floor where this somewhat heavy lumbering equipment seems to have been dragged. Of course, you follow it to the exit and then head back out onto the rest of the naval base, the outdoor sort of common area. And the whole naval base was... it's a sort of, gated kind of base from the rest of the city, but it does look like the gates were at one point breached and they are currently kind of opened, and they look to have taken some bombardment and were kind of knocked about in all of the scuffle. But heading out, you do follow the tracks, which get kind of muddied by all the chaos and damage that the outside ground seems to have taken. But you do generally follow it in a direction. And Mrs. X, I'll say, as you're leading the group, you do notice what looks to be a large lumbering figure, kind of covered only in a dark, sort of tarnished cloak, kind of peeking around a corner before disappearing behind that corner in the direction that these tracks are leading you.
So she holds up her hand just to kind of holds up her hand to say stop. And
Stop
she's
it.
just large lumber, something large right over there. Is
Human-sized? Large?
Yeah, I would assume it's a,
Yeah,
it's
it was
bigger than-
kind of yeah, it was kind of it looked like a large person in a wrapped up in a cloak.
I-
That was kind of big.
I'm just gonna say
You didn't see any features,
say
but
it.
you saw the general outline.
I totally forgot. I can't roll a 14. I can't roll below a 14 in perception.
Oh,
'Cause I have
that's
my
right.
shield.
That's right.
Oh,
I totally forgot about that.
So your perception check earlier would have been 14.
I would have seen it. I was like, "What the? Ow!"
Yeah, so you did notice that zombie, but too late. But yeah.
That being said,
Yeah, it sort of disappeared around the corner between the barracks and
Okay,
the vehicle
alright.
depot.
yeah. She just explained that.
is that the direction we need to head?
Yes. That was the direction that the tracks were leading her.
Yeah, judging by the tracks, yes.
All right, it's never easy. So like, if it went that direction towards the vehicle depot,
Sort of between the vehicle depot and the barracks. But it disappeared around the corner. As soon as you saw it, it starts going away, and you lose sight of it.
is there a way that we can?
Is there a way to like insight that, like in the event that it saw us and it started moving away because it saw us, or
Are we
yeah.
still hidden?
Well, you guys didn't specify
Are
that
we
you're
hidden?
moving along stealthily.
I
So,
thought we
but you,
did.
well, you got. I would have had you roll for
We're moving
stealth checks
stealthily.
in that set. All right,
We're
so
moving stealth.
go ahead and make your stealth checks now. But it did seem to be reacting almost to you. So yeah, it did seem to be kind of peeking around that corner, and then when you
Okay.
sort of made eye contact,
Okay.
it went away.
okay? So she's like, "Yep, that thing noticed us."
I have a 23 stealth.
Right, I was skilled. And I think no, Mrs. X is multi-class. She doesn't have that.
Yeah.
Yep.
So she's only got she's only has a 3 with her. What do you call that? Sneak attack. So I was like, that she
Oh,
doesn't
yeah.
have enough levels to have sneak attack or to have highly skilled.
Feeling stealth.
Yeah, everybody
so-
rolling stealth. And
So I got a 17.
17 and a 23
So I'm thinking. So all right. So I'm thinking.
and a 12. Not bad.
Try to keep up with it. I'm gonna see if I can flank around the outside and get a shot on.
If this doesn't pass the kind of stealth check,
What's that?
Huh?
chase after this thing.
She's just gonna run after it.
Like, nice 1 or 2.
I feel like you were
You're
cutting
like-
out a little bit there, but
You're
cutting out a bit.
breaking. Yeah, you're breaking up.
Oh,
like we heard you clearly for a few words, but I think we missed some key words. I don't know.
Yeah. I was trying to put it together. I'm like, something I'm missing.
So what I heard was something about because of stealth roll.
And then something about chasing after it. And I was like,
Yeah.
what? Are you chasing after it?
Is Enyo chasing after
Are
it?
you? And you was typing.
Oh. You said Mr. G is flanking around and trying to go a different route.
Yeah, so I would like to. Fails and you to chase after the thing.
You
I would
guys,
prefer-
you guys seem to be stealthing along pretty nicely. That was, 2 out of 3 decent rolls as for this group stealth check. But you guys
Yeah,
seem to
I'm-
move kind of quietly as a group. But Mr. G, you're flanking around trying to get a different vantage point.
Yeah, and I guess X would know very well. Maybe we've worked together in the past. I forget, what is X's specialty again?
Oh, I had this
Was it
written
also
down
assassination?
somewhere.
Yeah, she was
Yeah,
also
assassination. Yeah, assassination.
Yeah, so
There was a
you
couple
would
of
also
different
know-
things,
you
but it
would-
was
Yep.
assassination was one of them. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I guess you also, I think, are you the assassin subclass?
Yes.
Okay, so I was gonna say, like, yeah. So you also as, but like, we work really well if we get the first hit.
Mm.
So if we get the first hit, after that, kill it.
Yeah.
But we need to prize round.
All right. So I'll say
All right, let's go.
you all start moving out. Mrs. X and Enyo kind of give chase, but trying to move as quietly as possible. Mr. G, you flank around the outside of the other side of the barracks building, and as you peer around the next corner, with stealth, your general travel speed is a bit slowed, but as you're going along, you do catch a glimpse. But with its head start, not enough to get a shot off. You do notice that large figure kind of disappear into the ground as you see an uncovered manhole sort of on the other side of that building.
And this is the direction we need to go, not the vehicle depot. Or do we need to go through the vehicle depot?
Mrs. X, as you're moving along, you do see that the tracks sort of lead in this direction, and what visible markings there are end at this manhole.
All right, so please tell me we're going to the vehicle depot and not where that thing just jumped into the ground.
It's never easy.
Roger.
So you might have... This is gonna get, interesting. She's just like, oh, I guess.
Right. Switching back to katana. Let's go in.
All right.
All right. You all head down the manhole, and you see that there it is a bit of a long fall, so you can kind of take the ladders down, and it's a fairly sizable manhole that was able to even fit this large figure. But you follow in pursuit and just sort of head down the rungs, and as you kind of leap from those to the bottom, there's a bit of a sploosh. But a bit of a hard landing as well, as you've got like a kind of dank floor below you, and it's kind of very dark and very rancid. You seem to be in some sort of sewage tunnel. You hear the flowing of water through pipes and a gradual dripping sound echoing down these labyrinthine halls.
All right, Miss X, the direction.
So when the tracks kind of disappeared down into the manhole,
Mm-hmm.
and now that we're down there, does it just kind of look as if it like vanished away, or is it still, or can we still noticeably see like?
The tracks are a bit less obvious here, especially given the less dry environment.
Mm-hmm.
I would say everybody can make a perception check as you all are funneling into this tunnel.
Cool. New area perception.
Oh yeah, that's 20.
So with that natural 20, you are able to hone in, and this large lumbering figure, which at this point, kind of recognizing that it's in a bit of pursuit, isn't necessarily making any attempt to be particularly silent, and you basically just like narrow in on the sounds of just like these heavy footfalls that he's leaving behind. And you it kind of reverberates and echoes down these halls, and you almost can't tell which direction it's coming from. But you're in the middle of a hallway that goes basically left or right, and you're able to narrow down that you're basically looking to go in that rightward direction. And as you give chase with the great speed that this entire party is capable of, you're able to lead them onward in chase and keep on it, following those sounds as it goes.
If it knows it's being followed now, no need to go.
Okay, so yeah, you pick up the pace then and give pursuit. You head down the halls, and Mrs. X leads you down various turns and tunnels until eventually you come around a corner and see this large, dark, cloaked figure not disappear, but like head down past down a tunnel and past these sort of almost barricades constructed of sandbags, like these two sandbag walls that are like sort of barricade either side of a hallway. And you're then hit by just blinding lights as a bunch of flashlights shine out at you. And I believe everybody in this party has dark vision, I'm fairly certain. So you guys were able to navigate, pretty readily down these halls that are somewhat darkened aside from the periodic lights overhead. But as you round this corner, you see a bunch of flashlights just shine at you as you just hear shouting down from there, just like, "Hey, freeze, who goes there?"
Friendly!
And there's a brief pause before you hear, identify yourselves.
What's our identification?
And you had actually, when you checked in with this, the naval base above you, before you embarked on this mission, as far as you know, the only identification they have on you is that you are a CIA field team.
Yeah, because we're not with the base. We were just embarking from it, right?
Yeah, you were just using it essentially as a launch platform to go on your mission.
Yeah, I'm just gonna, I guess we'll just say, government officials were here, looking for communications equipment. Yeah.
All right. And the sort of blinding flashlights shining out at you kind of stutter for a moment as they kind of go down, as it seems the arms that they're attached to seem to be lowered for a moment. And you see a few more lights set up on that end of the hall, as there are, not floodlights, but there seem to be some sort of, larger lights that are set up to illuminate that area. It looks like that area is kind of sectioned off. And they're just like, government officials. What branch you with? You got IDs?
We got CIA. Can we approach?
Approach with your IDs out.
Do we have IDs?
Oh yeah, you guys certainly would. Especially, Mr. G and Mrs. X would. For sure, you guys would have legitimate looking. Legitimate IDs, I should say.
I was gonna say
because
it's
you are
just legitimate looking.
Yeah, it is partly just legitimate looking in that it doesn't have your real names or anything like that. Most of that is fabricated, but they are real CIA issued IDs that you use also the kind of thing where it's these sort of official encounters with other government sponsored people.
Like if you did follow up on these IDs, they would lead to an entirely fake profile that exists in an entirely fake CIA branch.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll have our badges out, and when we approach, I'm just gonna say, the walking toaster, the walking toaster's with us. She's an experimental device we're getting some field information on. Don't worry about it.
And you sort of approach with your ID out as you're saying this. Hands up. All right. Make a deception check, Mr. G.
I'll let you know that I cannot roll below a 20.
I'm still rolling that one.
Nope. 29.
Almost hit.
I was almost. A
So-
one.
You lie.
The walking toaster's with us.
You lie effortlessly as you walk past these barricades,
Yeah.
and they just sort of go along with it, just like, oh yeah, makes sense. And they just sort of these two sentries that are posted up just sort of smile and nod. But as you get close, you see sort of illuminated by this light that large lumbering figure behind them. It is, and you see it in a better light now. It's still kind of artsy and atmospheric, so to speak, in that it's kind of rim lit by this light behind them. But seeing it in more detail, you see that it is covered by this sort of battle damaged dark cloak, which it also has covering its head like a hood. But beneath the cloak, you see its features are humanoid, but it's kind of pale skinned, and its heart beats on the outside of its chest, and its lips recede to show terrifying teeth, and its left arm comes down to a gnarled claw.
Oh
Is he
no!
with you?
And they're just sort of like, it's a long story, but it seems kind of
T-virus?
looks at the the android. He's just like, I think your story might be even weirder.
G-virus then.
T-virus, actually.
Oh, is it? Oh yeah, I was thinking.
Tyrant virus.
Yeah, I was thinking that. I realize now it's Tyrant. I was thinking. Freaking what's his name from? Was it Degeneration?
Oh yeah,
Are
yeah,
you-
not
Yeah,
not
it's got
like
the
a
eyeball,
G
not the
creature.
not the heart. Yeah.
I'm just like, it's a long story, but we're just happy to see friendlies. We're used to shooting anything that comes down this hall.
All right, as long as it doesn't attack us, we'll be fine.
And
the
the
name guy.
The large lumbering figure is sort of standing all of this, and it just sort of nods to you. And they're just like, this is Lieutenant Mark Stanley. It's a part of this naval base.
Good. After all this, I'm gonna have to have you talk with someone.
And the other one's just sort of like, well, was Lieutenant Mark Stanley.
Still is, and we need to get you in contact with us with a professional immediately.
Lieutenant Stanley is just sort of nods.
Glad you're still cognizant.
Still
We need to find
has
your-
its intelligence.
And like just like going back to Miss X, it's just like under his breath, it's like, thank God I don't want to fight that thing.
No, neither would I.
And the soldiers,
And then just back to fully professional again. And
and the soldiers are just sort of saying, it's just like, all right, look, we need to stay posted up. Mark, you need to take these guys to see the commander. We need to get as many hands on deck as we can.
we've got some really crucial information we're gonna need to get to our higher ups as well. If you can get us to your communication devices, we need to send some information.
Oh yeah, we have a comms officer down here. We'll need you to. The commander will be able to put you in touch with him.
Let's go.
And this, what you now know as a tyrant, sort of pulls the hood back and leads you down these halls, and he leads you into a more open area. Well, I say more open in that it's wider than the hall, but it is still crowded with various crates and boxes of equipment, more sandbags set up for makeshift sort of infrastructure. And you see lots of different sailors, some of whom you recognize from the base the first time you came through before you departed. It seems all of Naval Base Martinez is now down here. And
Yeah,
they,
saluting to them to like make us look more official because they recognize us.
yeah, they recognize, some of them recognize you as well. Just in passing, you didn't have too much interaction with them, but they see you coming through. There are a lot of second glances at the chromey android going with you, but seeing the massive tyrant leading this whole group somehow gives it a bit more of an air of legitimacy among their number. It's a very, very bizarre situation. But you
the last time the Camp Martinez guys saw us, 2 agents went in, a tyrant and a robot came out.
basically. And strangely, they seem more accustomed to the tyrant at this point. But you're definitely getting a lot of stares. But these sailors seem armed, geared up, and just dirtied and gritty looking. They look like they've been through some battle. They all basically look like survivors at this point, like rebels in an underground, dimly lit base of operations that they've had to make do with.
Yeah, this reminds me of Vietnam.
And you keep going as nobody kind of bats an eye at that, just like. But
I was I forgot I was muted. Yeah, she's just Vietnam.
Yeah, it's pretty much exactly like the trenches. You're going out there, you don't know what your enemy is, and you're just huddling with your brothers in arms, hoping the next landmine doesn't take your leg.
Right.
So
I know more about the streets.
I'm like 25 or 35. Oh yeah, the streets are basically the same thing.
She just nods. just doesn't know what else to say.
So you follow Lieutenant Stanley as he leads you to a sort of back area with a door that might have once led to some sort of utility access for the sewers, but has kind of been turned into a makeshift command room where he leads you in. There's like a table set up with maps and various other equipment, but you see gathered around it a few high-ranking sailors, it seems, but noticeably, mostly so, at the helm, a tall and sturdy gentleman, his head held high despite the circumstances, dressed in a formal navy uniform, mostly black with the gold-trimmed cuffs, and a white cap. There are insignias of rank adorning his right breast, and a once clean-shaven face is now starting to show a bit of stubble from, it seems, the amount of non-stop action that has been going on since your departure. He sort of nods to you. The tyrant presents him, and he says, "What are these?"
This guy wasn't the head of Martinez, or like he wasn't with Martinez, right?
At the base?
Yeah, different commanding officer, or
you probably recognize him. In fact, you probably would have seen him coming through the first time. But this is the commander of this base, who you would know is Commander Sylvester Denton. At least from the prep you did for the mission, you would know that, even if you haven't met him quite yet. And an officer kind of comes up behind him and points out, he's like, the front sentries warned us ahead that they were coming. These are CIA operatives, the ones that departed from our camp earlier today. Commander Denton just nods. He's like, well, I see you've come back from your mission.
Yeah, speaking of which, what happened here?
I guess it's a long story. Didn't quite get any comms while you were at sea then, huh?
Nope, deep cover.
Well, as you've probably noticed, the whole situation has been flipped on its head. The city was hit by ICBM 8 hours ago. Everything's...
Do you know if there's a...
Yeah?
Do you know if any other cities have been hit by ICBMs?
Yeah, well, we made sure to procure some functioning comms and some contact with the outside world. And as far as we can tell, we're not the only one. But the whole world hasn't quite gone to hell yet. Just a handful of cities. 3 in total, if I'm not mistaken.
It's exactly 3.
All around the globe.
Great.
We're just the unlucky ones that got hit here. It makes sense from a tactical standpoint, I think. The West Coast has home to a lot of major cities, some of them well defended. They would have had air defenses against some sort of intercontinental missile, or at least early warning systems. A smaller town like San Martinez wouldn't have stood a chance. You get the whole population with a missile headed here.
Yeah, appears so.
But that missile struck, and since then, some of the populace has been infected and turned to zombies. But what's strange is that it's only some. That cloud came over the entire city. Many people turned to zombies, but many people, like us, were just unaffected. And then even fewer than both those groups. Well, he kind of looks over to the lieutenant. He's like, Lieutenant Stanley was among the number that turned into these things.
Do you know of anyone else who turned into? Yeah, we know all the names of like the official designations.
Yeah.
The POWs now.
Would be well versed.
Do we know any other? Do we know any other people who turned into tyrants?
Right. Tyrants, that's what they call them.
Yeah.
It seems a decent chunk. Not nearly as many that were unaffected or infected. In fact, and he kind of motions to the officer who came up behind him and told him that they'd been forewarned of your coming. And he was just like, Ensign Mosley will be able to tell you more of the details. He's been staying on the horn diligently and keeping up to date with the whole situation as it develops. Mosley? And he kind of just nods to them. It's all like basically an official meeting and is just professionally executed despite the circumstances, despite their reduction to basically rebels in this city now. They seem to be... Commander Denton seems to run a tight ship. And you immediately recognize how effective his leadership is amongst this otherwise dire situation. But Ensign Mosley just steps forward. It's like, yes, Ensign James Mosley reporting. So, I've been on the comms. The situation, as far as I can tell, is this. And from what I've heard from our brief contact with the outside world, stats are starting to come in on this. All estimations, of course. But what we're dealing with is a growing tyrant militia that is centralized somewhere around the courthouse in the inner city. They call themselves the 2%ers. They seem to be organizing themselves very quickly.
So you just use two words in those sentences that are never attributed with looking over at the lieutenant with tyrants. They can organize themselves and they can give themselves names.
Well, that's just the thing, see. Lieutenant Stanley was the only one among our numbers who turned into one of these tyrants, but as you could see and probably made note of, I don't know bioweapons very well. I don't know if this is usual, but he's lost his capability for speech. He can mumble and he could growl. He seems to have his same...
It's a physiological thing.
Yeah, he seems to have his same personality. Seems to have all of his knowledge, all of his... He's still him inside. He acts just like him, and he does exactly what he would do, and he can understand us clearly. But he just can't talk. As far as we know, most of the other tyrants are that way too. Except for
what
one.
You're saying is... No, great.
There's been one tyrant that we know of that seems to have some sort of speech capability. And from what we can tell, what it sounds like over disparate reports we've received from people in the inner city, this fella's been rallying all these other folks that were lucky enough or unlucky enough to be turned into these creatures.
Yeah. Just like looking over at X and Enyo, and it's like, so that's Walker's plan. Somehow what was that agent? No, it was the A-Act.
Yeah. Although you guys don't know
Yeah.
about that.
Oh, wasn't that wasn't on the paperwork that we saw on?
Oh, you saw the name, but you don't know what it is. But yeah, you did see that the payloads were AACT enhanced, is what all you know of the term.
Yeah. So, all I'm gonna say is so whatever he's done to these viruses, however he enhanced them, he's somehow been able to allow the infected to keep their personalities. What that means is an easier to control workforce, and he's like, I know this from personal experience, that can be extremified and turned into an army willing to die and kill for any cause he wants to put in front of them. A tyrant that can speak is probably the worst thing that could ever happen to us right now.
Commander Denton sort of nods to you with a look of respect, and he's just like, astute analysis. I have to agree.
I come from the streets. Extremification is what I used to do for a living.
Huh.
If there's anything that a group of people who have this idea that they're different, somehow better than everyone else, trust me, they'll band together and they'll start killing everyone who's beneath them.
Yeah, history doesn't bode well for these types of people. These 2%ers, they're calling themselves. Inside, Mosley points out, he's like, yeah, Sly, from what I understand, that name derives from these media reports that have been coming in, those estimations I was talking about. According to these reports, the approximation of the infected has been rounded out, basically, to almost exactly 50% of the population becomes infected. About 48% has had no effect. And the 2% become these creatures.
That sounds surgical.
As surgical as you can get. We also have some more intel to report. In addition to this growing tyrant militia, evidently we have made some contact with some sort of paramilitary group that's holed up in Uptown. These mercenaries happen to be in the area, go by the name Red Oracle Solutions. They're providing a haven for civilians at a office that they were hired to protect. The Kelly Systems Corp office up in Uptown.
Of course. I'm not familiar with that place, but I know Red Oracle. I've worked with them.
And Commander Denton just nods. He's like, yeah, I'm familiar with the group as well. I normally have no trust or respect for mercenaries, but they can be valuable allies in this situation. And it seems like they're trying to... I beg your pardon?
You don't need to trust a mercenary. You don't need to trust a mercenary. You just need to pay him.
Yeah. Well, if they're providing some sort of haven for the citizens of this town, then I'll stand by them. Stay on the horn, Ensign Mosley. We need to keep in touch with this Red Oracle group. Right now, there are only eyes and ears in Uptown.
Yo, Mosley. Can we see your communication setup right now? We got some information we need to send up. Do you have any what is it called? Do you have any encrypted setups that we can use?
Yeah, unfortunately not. We're able to salvage some basic comms equipment. We're able to get on radio, even make some calls out, but nothing too high tech like that was salvageable.
All right. And you've got pretty much whatever we see down here is what you have.
Yeah, let me show you. And he leads you down to the back of that chamber and into a little sort of corner that seems to be sectioned off for a basic communications office type of setup. And he's got a seat set up in front of some of the consoles and equipment that they had taken down. And he shows you to it, turns some knobs and some various instruments, and points out, he's just like, yeah, I could pretty much get in touch with most official state-sponsored organizations, as well as some people close by on shortwave, things like that. That's how I got in touch with the Red Oracle folks.
All right, so you don't have any capability.
Oh, sorry, you cut out a bit there.
Oh, you don't have any capabilities to go outside this.
Yeah, we can't go outside the city. Like I said, we can make basic calls and whatnot.
Okay.
So anything you
Trying
want to
think of the best way to
communicate
do this.
verbally or, by some sort of text means should be functional.
Yeah, how about this?
All our phones are still good. They have good signal, but it's just a struggle getting to power supplies oftentimes.
Okay, how about this? I'm going to need you to send a text to the head of the BSAA. I need you to tell him. I need you to say that you received a transmission from a couple of CIA agents at Camp Martinez saying that they failed their task and are having trouble getting back to shore.
All right. Here's the trouble, though. We've been having some spotty communication with the BSAA. Naturally, they were the first people we tried to get in touch with. But it seems they've come under some sort of attack as well, completely separate from the ICBMs that have been hitting these cities. The only their channels that are in functioning order seem to be very few. Most of them are just full of a lot of chatter as they try to rally themselves. We do have one line open though to one Camp Clancy. We've been pinging them every once in a while, but haven't received too much by way of response. They might be in the middle of their own ordeal.
My guess is they are. All right, I just need to send them a message. Completely, do not make it look like it's a big deal. You received a message. A couple of CIA agents who were on a mission left from your base. They sent a message back that you received. It said that they failed the mission and they're having trouble getting back to shore. All
right, will do. That's certainly a lot more helpful than the general messages we've been sending. Give it something specific. Hopefully we can get a response. And you see him get on the comms and basically sending out just like essentially the equivalent of like a
mass text.
yeah, almost like mass text, but like a little bit more telegram in nature.
Yeah,
kind of like just like over the airwaves. Get a secure communication to Camp Clancy.
And remember, we never made it. We never made it to shore.
Understood. Would you want to wait around for a response? We've got this area pretty locked down and secure. We've still got one nurse or rather a medical officer who worked at the infirmary, still around here somewhere. Running a bit low on ammo, though. Don't know if we could supply too much of that to you. Although we haven't...
I am stacked.
Haven't been able to make too many trips to the surface, though. Lieutenant Mark Stanley just made one. He was looking to scout what the base is looking like for us. Take care of any remaining infected that might still be walking around. Hopefully we can start heading back to the surface soon, but... yeah. Admittedly, we're a bit wary about the goings-on. Any trip to the surface is bound to be pretty risky at this point.
Yeah, especially if you have a militia of BOWs running around. How does... Do you know how the other 50% feel about these militia?
Yeah, from what we can tell, it's hard to say, but I don't imagine it's amicable. They seem to be...
Just thinking maybe the lieutenant shouldn't be seen outside.
Yeah, that's fair. You'll have trouble stopping him going around, though. He's a natural-born protector, that one.
All right, each to his own. So, X, and yeah, do you guys want to stay here and wait for a response? I'm wanting to go and head out and see what that militia's like.
Wouldn't want you traveling alone out there. Especially since there's BOW militia. Not sure if splitting would be the best option.
Yeah.
Although if we do...
What was that?
I will also follow.
Oh, you'll also follow.
Yeah. I would probably have nothing to do if I stayed here. So...
True, we're not even supposed to be here, technically. We died.
If I may ask, and he kind of realizes before the words get out of his mouth just the futility. He's just like, clandestine stuff, I'm assuming.
You were never here.
Well, if you need any more intel, I'm still on comms while I'm here. I could let you know what the lay of the city or anything else.
Yeah, could we get a shortwave that we can communicate with you?
Yeah, that would be nice.
Oh, certainly. And he hands you guys over some radios that you guys can just keep on hand as personal items to
Sweet.
have a way of communication back to this base.
I'm gonna set that up with my Bluetooth. Can I do that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I
You
was gonna ask.
basically you just get the frequency and attune your Bluetooth to it, and you're like, okay, that's all we needed these for.
Does Enyo just like download a new patch?
No, she just basically, she can practically see the radio frequencies moving through the air. She just sees it and then just syncs up.
She just like switches scanning and then there's like, oh, there you are.
And the ensign again turns to you. He's just like, well, if I may ask, and forgive me if I'm out of line, but that mission you went on. I mean, what all came of that? Get anything good, usable out of that?
Unfortunately, not really. The only thing that we got was, well, pretty much, I guess, a little bit of this handful of viruses, BOWs. Nothing we really weren't prepared for, but
Well, you talking
it was rough out there. But
intel?
no, I'm an assassin. I don't do intel.
Oh, so you just encountered some viruses.
Yeah, we were trying to hit one of their heads up, and he's very well protected.
All right. Well, how'd that go?
I told you we didn't get anywhere near him. Wolf Horde. Just, I'm assuming, the same people who are just like out here.
Guess that's not a win for us then.
Nope. This day has been just a whole lot of disappointment, really. I've never failed a mission.
He sort of goes over to you, kind of just like stay close by. It looks to be like looking to escort you back out. It's just like, well, like I said, got lots of people, good bit of gear still around here. Probably even plunder the base upstairs if you need anything more, but we're going to be looking to go out in small parties, see what we can get. But for the most part, we're centralized down here.
We'll let you know if we see anything up top.
All right.
I'm really trying to think if Mr. G would want to think or would consider thinking this, because I want to know. This is like just paranoid Lauren. I want to know if this dude's a freaking insider.
Okay, so you and I have the same thought process right now.
But I don't know if Mr. G would think that, because I know that the Manifold has inside people because one of them tried to one of them blew us up. But does Mr. G know that the manifold has like people this deep in?
On Mrs. X's point of view, the whole idea, her whole thing is, why did you ask if you?
The intel thing was pretty specific. That's what I was thinking.
Like,
That's what kind of.
Yeah, that like, why would you ask these things? You know what? No, can I insight this?
All
Can I
right,
insight as well?
All right, I'll say.
Who has the highest insight? We'll assess. We just look at each
I'll
other
say
and go.
one.
Yeah.
Well, I'll say
We look
both
at each
of
other.
you.
We give each other an eye.
Both of you can make one insight check.
Okay.
I was gonna
All right.
say I've got a +5.
That's actually pretty decent. That's better than mine.
17.
14.
All right, and well, if that's a proficiency, can you not roll below a 10 or?
Yes, that is proficiency.
Oh, so then. Oh wait. Oh, I see. Yeah, 14. It was 12.
14.
Normally, yeah. So you both throughout this conversation are sort of tuning into him. He does seem quite uneasy and quite shifty. It does seem there's more he's not letting on. But that's about all you gather.
Is there a way, like, can I do something along the lines of I want to steer the conversation in a way? So what I want to do is I want to just like casually bring up something that he rightfully shouldn't know, but only like,
Okay.
you know, it's like who said, like, I never said that
Yeah.
type of conversation, kind of steer it in that direction, see if I can get him to
Okay. And I'll also
see if I can
say
get him to admit something without admitting it.
yeah, and with Mrs. X, I will say since your insight was a little higher, I'll also give you the little bonus that despite, you know, his sort of confident facade and voice, I think like the hint of a feeling you might get out of that is he seems a little nervous.
This boy gonna die. If that's what you just said.
Just like a little uneasy. So Mr. G, you were talking.
So she's just gonna like look at Mr. G and just kind of give a nod, like give those eyes, like.
Yeah, we've been on missions before, right?
Mm-mm.
So I wanna just like hit it up with this dude. This dude's my new best friend, right?
All right.
And
what are you saying?
I'm just like
He's walking and talking with you guys as you guys head back
Yeah.
in the direction of the sort of command table that Commander Denton, or Sly as you heard him call him, is at. It's just like,
Like,
yeah,
I'm-
so
like this
Nothing
dude is
more
my
you
new
need to know?
best friend. No, hey, you have some time right now?
what about?
No, just like just walk us back out front.
Yeah.
Like, you know, your accent, it sounds familiar. Where are you from?
You know, I come from a bit more of the middle of the country, not native here to California. Being in the Navy, you get around a bit. I'm originally from around Texas.
Oh, nice. And I just want to walk with him from the place, like from where we are in the base to, I guess, what just is that area that we went through? That's the only exit.
Basically, yeah.
Good. I want to take the slowest, longest route there to get back.
All right. So you sort of walk
And
him
basically just
through
like-
the crowded, sort of bustling areas in between, and some of the
Just like a
sailors
hey,
resting.
just like a hey, show me around real quick before we leave. Just I want to see what you guys have got going on. I want to get really friendly with this guy, my
Okay.
new best friend, and I'm trying to think of anything that I could do. But like, Mr. G does this better than I do. I want to tell him something that is like as fact. I want to say something as fact that I know is incorrect, and see if he tries to correct it, or if I can get him to, you know, like I said, like admit something that he knows without me having to explicitly say something.
Okay.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think I get you.
Just one of those, just like, well, I never said he was murdered type of thing.
yeah. Well, do you have something specific? You're gonna-
I'm trying to think like because he said something about intel.
So that's a bit of a tricky,
You know what- no,
tricky
you know-
social
You know what I'm gonna do?
maneuver.
You know what I'm gonna do? Here's what I- here's what-
I'll
here's
have
what
to
it's
have
gonna
you
be.
play that out.
Here's what's- Oh, I can't act it, but I can say what he would try to do. I can say the tactic that he would use. Here's what I think he would do. They don't know where we were trying to go, right?
No, yeah, the Navy base didn't know.
The Navy base doesn't know where we were trying to go.
They didn't know what your mission was. They're just
I'm
knew
gonna
that they're
tell him.
hosting some CIA agents.
I'm gonna tell him that we found the Manifold base and we were heading there.
Okay, so as you're walking along, you just sort
Just
of
like, hey,
giving the
look,
walk and
listen,
talk around this makeshift base, and he's just like,
yeah, keep this between you and me, right? But like, check this out. Don't tell anybody you know this, but we found the Manifold base, and we were trying to take out the walker, but we just couldn't get a shot in. We had to get out of there real quick.
well, the Manifold base. Oh, that's. Yeah. Now the Manifold base, that was one of them. I think I heard about the Manifold. That's one of them bioterrorist organizations.
As far as we know, that's what all this was about.
What, this attack?
Yeah, didn't you know that?
I don't know. Well, it's been on the comms. Yeah. I don't know if anyone's necessarily claiming responsibility, but the situation is constantly developing.
Is he lying when he says he doesn't know it's Manifold?
Insight check.
14 again.
His mannerisms don't, and his sort of micro expressions that you try to hone in on, don't betray anything of a deliberate falsehood. In fact, he just, as he kind of mentioned, like with the tyrant and everything, he just generally doesn't seem to know much about just bioweapon stuff in general, or bioterrorism, or that sort of part of the field.
Just gonna like look back at X and just like give a slight like shake of the head. Or Miss X. Did I say Mr. X? Miss X.
She's like, kind of keeping an ear.
Okay.
Yeah, just continue small talk with this guy.
Mm.
Let's see. Oh, why would he be nervous?
We stop by the nurse's place and talk while you get healed.
Oh yeah, by the way, I got a real bad chomp on my leg.
It's just, oh yeah. So the medical officer is just this way, and it leads you to their medical officer, who's over there treating a few other sailors. And
now I've started walking with a limp.
So you sort of get in queue, and eventually they're able to get to you. And you can get...
Why would he? What's this dude's name again, by the way?
Ensign James Mosley. So you can... each person can essentially get one treat wounds out of this medical officer.
Mm-hmm.
So for Mr. G,
I think I'm the only one who... Oh, no. Yeah.
I get it.
And you also
you
need
get 6 hit points.
Shifty mofo.
You, and Enyo, you kind of approach this medical officer, and he's just like, well, now that's a bit outside of my wheelhouse. Saying this thing needs repairs?
As far as we know, it was set up to work like an organism, so it should be roughly the same. Yeah, right? Looking at it.
Cannot confirm nor deny. Have not seen my in.
Well, this is the first time for everybody.
With all due respect,
So-
this automaton you CIA folks seem to be messing around with might need something more along the lines of an engineer.
You got one of those?
We still have some handymen around. Let me go give a look-see.
So while that's going on, Mrs. X is just gonna be like, "Hey, mind if I take a look at your frame? Like, you know, you seem to be a little chipped on areas, maybe sparking a little bit over there." Like probably like points to like a shoulder that's just. Because the idea is she wants to get a look to see like how bad the damages are, but like with technology.
All right, go ahead and make a technology check.
16.
Okay, yeah, you can discern well enough the sort of root of the damage. And yeah, you see that little twitching shoulder that the mechanism seemed to be kicking a bit. And I don't actually... Oh, hi!
Oh, what's that?
What in the world was that? Sly Dirk just making a donation?
Yo!
That's somebody we haven't seen in a while. Just
Where
as
you
we... Just as we, introduce a character whose name is Sly too. Coincidence? I think not.
I think not.
Try to get on that good side.
But thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But, alright, so, yeah, you inspect the damages, though, and you see that twitching shoulder, and you see some of the, mismatched circuitry that's going on in there.
She's just like, right, so you got this part here, if we can go through, it's a little messed up there. Shouldn't be too bad. What is this? Why?
That's not supposed to be there.
That's not good.
Alright, hey, listen.
Touch
Quit
anything
poking
that
around
won't
that robot
touch
saying things
that.
aren't... Sorry.
What did she say?
Not touch anything.
You are
You're cutting
Breaking
up.
up.
Some ears.
Is this gonna
Not
be...
touch anything you are not supposed to touch.
Oh, no. I wasn't touching anything. I was just checking it out. I'm just, you know.
Stop looking at the robot saying that's not supposed to be there. That's not giving me any confidence.
The medic's just sort of like, I think, go fetch, points to one of the nearby sailors, just like, go fetch, Jim. He might be able to take a look at this. Not you, Jim. He pointing to Ensign Mosley. He's just like, other Jim. And one of those guys kind of runs off and comes back. He's just like, hey, yeah. This guy's done, he's the mechanic on some of the Jeeps in the depot. He might be able to do something about that.
Yeah, basically the same thing.
And he's just sort of looking at this, this android, and he's just like, whoa, this is fascinating. I don't know if I...
Whatever you see in this android is for, what's it called? Yeah, you can't talk about it. You've never seen it.
Oh, yeah, confidential CIA stuff. I get it, yeah. Alright, he pulls out some
It's
tools.
for privileged eyes only.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
what I meant to say.
Okay, I get it, sir. He pulls out some tools and starts going to work a little bit on it. He's like, oh yeah, this is like the most advanced car I ever seen. And he kind of gets in there. He's basically going to cast repair on her, which actually, oh yeah, but these stats actually ends up being exactly the same as the treat wounds that Mr. G receives. So you get 9 hit points back.
Oh.
Yeah, you're breaking up really badly.
She's malfunctioning.
I keep
Somebody fix the
forgetting
voice
to
box.
turn the voice on and off. With
Also, I'm not entirely certain what her hit points are at. I'm not sure.
didn't note it down, so I just put it one above. Was in caution, so I just put it at 31.
Yeah, because I remember you got hit a lot.
Yeah, well, we have it on Roll20, don't we?
If it's on the... Hey, roll your... pull your character out
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
onto the lobby area.
Okay.
There it is.
That's how much.
Oh, that's right. It was 31.
Yeah, what?
That's not a lot of health. Oh, hey. Whoa. What? Who's that?
There we are.
Yeah.
Who are these people?
We got a bunch of characters on the screen right now, but let me just stream this while we're looking at really quick. All right, so yeah, you get some repairs done.
Hold up. Quick meeting about the robot really quick. Come here really quick. I'm just
Guys.
going to huddle up.
Huddle up.
The hell are we going to do about Jimmy?
Well, I don't know. Depends on how you want to go about it.
You're getting the same feeling I am?
Mm.
There's something off with that kid.
Execute him.
That's what I'm thinking, but we can't do it here.
I mean,
Shall we do it?
I also don't know how many communications officers they have in this base. So
true.
we might need him on the other side to talk to, but
I don't know. Something doesn't seem right. It
no,
just
something
off.
isn't adding up. He's not telling the whole truth, but he doesn't know anything about BOWs or bioterrorism at all. I don't think, unless he's a really good liar.
I don't know. There's something about his voice. It's nothing, I guess, too major. Just seemed very, very nervous. Most. It's just, it kind of rubbing me the wrong way.
Yeah.
So I'm trying. I don't know what to do. You know, I'm not very talkative. Obviously, I kill things, just like you.
Yeah.
So,
I'm really good at killing things, but
but I did
I got-
pick up on it.
I got to where I am by knowing people.
Me too.
You all hear the lumbering steps of that big sort of tyrant figure going about the base. You look around, you see
what was
him kind of going around distributing rations to people, just handing out
What
little
was that
rations.
guy's name again?
What a nice man.
I know, it's really cute.
Big friendly tyrant. Is Lieutenant Mark Stanley.
Stanley?
Finally.
Stanley distributed rations. Okay. All right. Looks like he's. What was that?
No, it's like I'm trying to figure out what I want to do, but I'm not. I'm definitely not intimidating. I'm not. I'm intimidating through the sense that I will kill you, and that's it.
All right. Should we? All right. So
I
then
intimidate with my athletic. I could smash his skull.
She flexes. Tell the truth.
Do you guys have any other social proficiencies?
Deception.
Because I've got all of them.
I did not
Oh.
make And you're
Almost
to be a social character.
I've only got
It
to
doesn't seem like it. All right, so I'm thinking we're gonna have to confront this guy, right? And then just see where he's at the end of it.
We're gonna have to bring him somewhere so that way we can get this out of
Yeah.
him.
I can grab.
All right, you guys back me up. I'll lead.
All right.
Hey, James.
Yeah.
Let's get out of here.
Which
Which way to the front again?
Get out of here. Right this way. And he kind of leads you on through the crowd.
After walking, I'm looking for just like dark corners or kind of like areas we can duck into, like if we're going down a tunnel, if there's like another tunnel that goes off to the side
Okay.
that doesn't seem to be occupied.
Make a perception check.
That is a 14.
All right. So as you're going down, you keep an eye out. You do notice a few stray paths here and there. They're mostly occupied and have like, sort of, various lights or kindled flames in barrels set up to provide illumination. It seems like a good half of perhaps of their fighting force was reduced in the battle, but there's still quite a few of them crowded down into a relatively tight space down here. But they're making do. But you do manage to find one that seems to be generally unoccupied for the time being. One little
so the
side
first
branch,
one-
but it kind of goes down. It's not too. I mean, it kind of goes off adjacent, but it's not too hidden. There's no one in it. But it just basically just goes off from the main chamber. Someone could still. You
How
wouldn't
far
be
down?
maybe like a 30 or 60 foot path before it comes to a dead end. Just go straight down. So anyone walking by might be able to look down here, but there's no one. This seems to be the least crowded area in this entire establishment.
That's the only thing we got, I think.
Risk it to potentially win it.
All right. I'm just gonna after we walk past, I'm just gonna stop and turn back. I'm gonna look down it, kind of see it, assess my surroundings, walk past a little bit, and stop and go, "Hey, wait. Did you guys hear that?" And looking back at X and Yo.
It's like, I think I had something very
just
faint.
pulling out my handgun. It's like,
an
"Yo,
intruder.
Ugh,
Hey.
Intruder.
I don't know. I heard something down here."
yeah,
I'm just gonna
Well, that's not good. We should probably get the guards.
No, it doesn't sound too big. Might have been a rat. Just want to double check.
You seem like you know what you're
Do
doing.
you have a light?
Did
you have a light?
I think so. He kind of fumbles through his pockets
see-
and reaches for a
Can't see anything
flashlight.
down here.
Just like it kind of shines it over your shoulders, just like down this way.
Yeah, maybe by this grate over here, and I'm just gonna take him to the very end.
All right, you take him to the very end. It just follows you along, providing light for your steps.
I've got my striker out.
Oh, okay.
I've got this little handgun, and you're just like. We're gonna get all to the end, and just I'm basically just gonna say, "Here, let me see that flashlight really quick."
He hands it over to you.
I'm gonna grab it and turn it off, and just shove him against the wall. All right, here. You're not telling us something.
What is this? What are you talking about?
We're CIA agents. We're here to do a mission, and it didn't stop when we got off the boat. You're not telling us something.
I'm I'm an open book. I'm a comms officer. I've been gathering intel this whole time. I've shared with you everything I've gathered. I'm telling you, I'm open to whatever you want to ask me. You just gotta ask.
Someone's... Go ahead.
I just wanted to know, am I getting that kind of just like nervous vibe about him now?
Oh yeah, totally. It's seeping through for what you've incited. Yeah, you get the same sense, and definitely seems manifested now. You see beads of sweat going down his temples.
She's like, somebody wouldn't go through to ask, CIA agents about a mission that they're not meant to know about. Any sort of intel. Not only that, but you're not very good at keeping your composure. I did hear a little bit of nervousness.
At the very least, that's insubordination.
Hey, it was just casual banter, just talk. People around the base have been talking. It's not every day we get CIA agents coming through. There are rumors going around, some sort of intel gathering excursion you're going on. I don't know the specifics. I was just curious. We don't
need to gather intel.
What?
Did they know we were supposed to gather intel? Oh, sorry.
See.
You go.
And there's arms like combined together and reshaped to like this gun barrel.
Okay.
And she just aims it at the dude.
Look.
Exterminate.
No, not at the moment. Not yet.
Cold action.
No. Please don't exterminate. Look, like I said, it was
were they supposed to know we were? Were they supposed to know we were gathering intel?
They weren't supposed to know, but you don't know if they did. But
okay.
They weren't given any details. All they know is that some CIA agents needed to embark on a mission from their base. It was the closest Navy base to their destination. Like I said, people talk.
What are the rumors?
I don't know. The rumors were you guys were doing some top secret stuff. I was just curious.
Yes, obviously we're doing top secret stuff. We're CIA agents. That's not a rumor. How'd you know what we were looking for?
Look, if you could just unhand me, man. If the commander finds out about this, he's gonna be pretty upset.
Listen.
I think he was going to be more up. There is a spy among us.
That would really rustle my Jimmy.
I ain't no spy.
Is he telling the truth?
Inside check.
Is he?
Just a straight up, is that dude lying?
Oh,
Yeah.
no, he's fine.
I'll assist.
I'll say no. You can also make an insight check. You can't assist
Okay.
on these mental checks.
Just straight up on that one. That was a definitive. Huh?
I will also attempt.
Oh.
Oh wow! Whew.
23.
Is he a spy? I need a yes or no answer.
Maybe. No. Yeah. He seems to be. The answer seems to be a nervous yes. But that he doesn't seem to perhaps conceive of himself in those terms.
But he knows he's doing something wrong.
Yeah.
So he knows he's doing something wrong, but he's like, I ain't no spy, right? Type of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, this is.
What's this?
this okay. Right, my character doesn't know. It's just like, oh no, he's telling the truth.
Yeah, you're just there like
The way that it sounds like is he might have been coerced into this without even knowing.
That's what I'm thinking. My guess now is he's not a Manifold agent. He might be the 2%.
Oh,
Because if he's the only one who has communications outside, I don't know, man. I'm going super paranoid. So,
imagine if this was the talking tyrant just in disguise.
I was gonna say, I hope he's not like invisibly infected. Because
Yeah.
if he was invisibly infected, I'm just like, you put up 2%.
just straight up, just murk him. Just like,
I'm part of the 1%. But I'm just gonna, yeah. Off that, I'm gonna just like get real close and just say, gathering intel for who?
I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about.
I think you do. And I think you're really bad at lying. And I'm just gonna like take him and just like put him out in front of the robot.
Oh, okay. Hey, it's. I don't know who. I don't know who.
Barrel stops blowing.
You gotta start talking real fast.
And you hear at this point the. As a not so sneaky tyrant as seems to have peered around the corner at the end of this hall. And
it's gonna like wave him down here.
his handful of rations just dropped to the floor as he seems to have been going around looking for everyone. And at that point, the ensign just calls out, just like, Mark, help me out, help! And he just screams bloody murder for help. And Mark just barrels down this hallway, seeing a bunch of people holding up one of his men, and just essentially tackles Mr. G out of his grasp. I need you to we'll make this a grapple check. So, make a quick contested roll, athletics or acrobatics.
1 second. Oh no, I'm okay. I was thinking about nimble. Nimble is advantage on grapple checks. I keep thinking I put nimble on Mr. G, but I think I might have thought about it at one point. Athletics or acrobatics?
Either or, since you're on the receiving end.
Oh, I beat that automatically. That's 19.
Oh yeah, that's true. All right, so he doesn't quite pry your grasp, but as he's like getting in between you, there's this whole ruckus as you're starting to shake about. And now all of a sudden, with this ruckus, you hear more voices calling out. It's just like, oh, what's going on? And it's some more crowd. It seems to be gathering at the base of this hall as this tyrant is just trying to wrestle you away from his ally.
I'm going to like, I'm going to graciously like give in. Like I'm gonna go with it, but I'm clearly like not, like I'm not resisting, but I'm also not trying to like fight him.
Okay.
I can't.
Yeah.
But I'm just gonna be like, Mark, listen to me. Mark.
Hey, and at this point, he's just like moving you along and just basically trying to pin you against the wall with this big tyrant fist just pressed up against you. Just like,
and I'm just like using my feet to like run up and over and around and just like.
And he's just like trying to get a hold of you, but not quite being able to. But he's succeeded in separating you from the ensign now from Mosley, and he's just sort of trying to stand between the two of you, basically.
I'll allow him to stay between the two of us, but I'm just going to
and just holding out like his bare hand, just like keeping the clawed hand at bay, but holding out like his bare, just like regular hand, and just like in a sort of just like stop motion.
Yeah.
Mark, listen to me.
And at this point, again, that bit of a crowd, a few other sailors have kind of gathered at the mouth of this hallway. Some of them readying arms as Ensign Mosley just stumbles backwards. Help! Help! These people, and he kind of like waves them on, and the crowd starts to build a bit more, and he tries to...
Can we
just,
stop
like,
him before he gets to the crowd?
She's
if you could get past the tyrant.
gonna
I can maneuver the
out.
tyrant between me and him out of the way of Enyo and Miss X.
Mm-hmm.
It sort of stands
Like, if
there,
you-
like in the end, sort of standing, looking over you all. All of you make a quick wisdom saving throw.
Who?
All three of you.
Oh man, that's not fair.
I was gonna say she is about to
No.
scream out, "We got a traitor, or we have a spy." Oh, I mean that's an 18.
Oh, okay. Fair. 12.
Also fair.
Wow.
Oh wow.
That's
Okay, so you all save against fear. You're not quite You're not quite terrified by the tyrant to the point of paralysis, so to speak. But he's still standing there between you all, and the ensign has sort of retreated back to his allies. And again, some of them are starting to kind of train weapons. All of like this scene does not look good on the Navy base's side, and they're starting to worry they've been infiltrated.
I'm gonna walk up to them fully confident, right at their barrels, and I'm just gonna be like, "I'm gonna need to see your commanding officer right now." Where is what's his name? Where's Sly? Someone get me Sly.
Make a persuasion check.
Damn right I will. This is new for me.
Wait, do you have proficiency in that now?
Hell yeah. By the way, the level that I hit, the level that I got highly skilled, or maybe the level after, I don't remember. I took the universal feature. Was it also highly skilled? I don't remember. What's the one that gives you skills?
Oh, skillful. Yeah.
And I got skillful, and I got 3 extra skills I can't roll below 10 on. 14.
All right. So, as this is all going on, you see the soldiers begin to...
Nope. That's a 16. My charisma is +2, +4, +6. I don't know why I added a 4.
Okay, make sure to amend that.
16.
But yeah, that certainly gives the sailors pause as you see their weapons begin to lower a little bit. It's just like, you need
It's
to
with
see
full confidence, like-
the commander. And even at this point, even the tyrant's kind of looking at you just like with a cocked head, and kind of looks between you and like back and forth at the crowd behind it, and
Just like with a pointed nod, just pointed directly at Jimmy. I'm just gonna be like, from now on, you're saying nothing but the truth, and I want to hear nothing else out of you.
And they kind of, and with this sort of show of persuasion and confidence, they kind of look to the sailors surrounding him, kind of look to him, and they're just like, "What's this about,
Like, yo,
Mosley?
what you do, man?
What's this about, Mosley?" It's just like, I'm telling you, this is all some kind of, and he's still kind of squeezing through, elbowing through the crowd, just like, it's all some kind of misunderstanding.
Don't let him get away. He's trying
And
to run
he-
away.
He takes off running.
I'm gonna have
damn
Enyo chase after him.
And then-
Robot girl.
And I'm gonna have a take down.
Yeah, just total Terminator run, just like. And so Enyo takes off chasing after him. He has a good head start, and you hear
I'm
the sort
sticking
of
with everybody.
motion.
Like-
And all the sailors, all
Yeah.
the people seem to be basically convinced enough to do nothing, right? Like they're not sure anymore
Yeah.
who's on the right side right now, and even the tyrant lets you past as you run. Lieutenant Mark, he kind of lets you go by, but he keeps pace and tries to follow along and see where this is going. But it just can't move nearly as fast as Enyo, I don't think. What's her movement speed at?
Well, if she dashes, if she uses the Phantom Dash.
Oh,
Oh, snap.
Yeah.
That's so she can run. So
you're
90.
just really fast.
I think.
Really freaking
I
fast.
think 90 per round.
Oh, snap.
Current
90?
90.
Oh, without a dash.
That's with a dash,
With a dash.
but that's with the Phantom Dash. So
Okay.
that's 60 instead of 30.
Oh, right. Well, you can make 2 dashes with that because you got action, bonus action, so essentially 150.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay, I was wondering. I was like,
Top
I can run
speeds, yeah.
90.
Yeah.
I can run
this-
90.
This
Wait.
guy. So this guy's
What's
running
happening?
away. He's running away. He's like, oh no! And then we just have Usain Bolt. What's
just,
up?
just darts down the
Who's
hall.
saying nuts and bolts?
Okay, that was good. That was good. But yeah, so just and there's just like you basically build up a current of air that just brings up some loose like papers and light objects that are kind of around, and you just as you dash down the hall. He had a pretty sizable head start though, so you don't quite have sight on him as you come around the corner, but you do see like the sentries that were at the front entrance area by those sandbag barricades are just kind of like, whoa, what was all that about? He seems to have gone past them. Make a perception check as you give pursuit.
And I'm back in the middle of everyone else, just kind of like running PR, just like everything will be explained. Somebody bring Sly to me right now. Yes.
Okay, that's
Get
pretty
that
decent
boy.
perception. As you like sort of dash around, you basically have to kind of trial and error this, right? It again goes into those labyrinthine halls, and you got to make turns and sort of try and narrow it down. But you turn on your sensors and you like stay still for a moment as you see small little peaks. You amplify, and you see those peaks seem to be the sort of pattering of footsteps. You analyze and try to follow the where that sound is coming from and where those small little peaks might be emanating from. And as you close in, your sensors give you greater, more honed direction. You dash down the halls, run, make all the right turns in such a way that that sound just keeps getting louder and louder. And as you hone in and triangulate on the position, you do eventually find your way back to another manhole, and not the same one that you guys had entered from. This one is in a sort of different area, and you see Ensign Mosley climbing up the rungs and just like pushing out with all his strength against that against the sort of manhole cover. And you see the light of day above him shining through as he tries to
Get
climb
that
out
boy.
onto the streets.
Get him. Hello?
Khalid. Yeah,
Are you getting him?
I'm gonna get him.
All right, so you give chase. He's kind of getting out onto the streets, but you run up and start climbing the ladder, and he is just moving full bore. But with your extreme speed, you're able to catch up with him and climb up those rungs and also emerge at the surface. You see now you're in sort of the middle of the streets, and you see a horde of zombies closing in around you.
Well,
Better move fast.
Uh,
Gotta grab him and bring him back.
just following her mission.
All right, you dash for him. You see him like duck into an alleyway as zombies sort of close in on him as well, but he just like just scrambles over this fence. If your attempt to pursue, you will take some attacks from zombies.
You have to go through that fence.
oh,
Still giving chase?
I forgot to use my hit points earlier. So, my hit dice, I forgot to use them earlier.
While we're on the boat.
Yeah.
Ooh.
40 hit points. But I have a 20 AC. Lose this guy though.
You're continuing the chase?
Come on, AC. Let's go.
All right, you're continuing the chase.
And continue the chase.
All right, so you chase after him, heading for that same fence. I'll say about 5 zombies get a swipe on you. Let me see if this
How's he doing, by the way?
works. He because of his head start, he managed to get through that crowd and get up the fence before they closed in on him.
Oh, like he went through, the crowds came in after him.
And yeah, and then they close in as she's coming through.
Just running through.
Okay. Hey, that worked.
That's sad.
None of them hit.
None of them hit. All right, so like a bunch of hands attempt to lay onto you, but you are
She's a
just like,
car.
yeah, you're too slick and too smooth in the literal sense of the terms. You are just like, they can't find a solid grip as you get to the fence. If you're gonna attempt to jump that and give chase, go ahead and make an athletics check.
Alright, athletic. Come on. Okay. On.
Oh.
20.
All right, 20. So you just
20.
like zzz, and just with extremely graceful movements that have been programmed into you for all circumstances. You manage to just hop right over that fence, and you land on the other side and give chase. He's still basically on foot on the other side, and with your extreme speed, you can catch up to him pretty readily. As you hear the clatter of zombies just like impacting against the fence behind you. So what are you doing?
Gonna take down.
What was that?
You got a takedown.
It's gonna take
takedown.
down.
Okay. How's that work?
Right here. Wait. Okay. Once per turn, when you hit a large or smaller creature with an unarmed attack, left him first, you can force your target to make a strength saving throw. On a fail, the target is knocked prone, landing at a point of your choosing within 5 feet of you.
All right. So yeah. You so you needed him with an attack first.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna punch.
All right. Go ahead and make your attack.
It's explosive fist.
Oh
Can
no.
I choose if they're explosive or not?
What was that?
Explosive. Can I choose if her fists do explosive or not, or are they automatically
No, they're always
explosive?
explosive damage.
Oh.
I thought well, can't you? I mean, they're explosive, but you can choose to make them non-lethal, right?
Yeah, you can always choose to
For-
make them
for
explosive,
purposes
of
non-lethal.
damage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's essentially
Purposes
just
of damage, they
enhanced
still
blood.
do
Oh.
explosive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Think
Okay.
crushing, but
Going for your kneecaps.
Yeah, basically, she's about to wreck his
Crazy, yeah, bone
kneecaps.
bone breaking, but not lethal.
This
Yeah,
dude.
she's
oh,
gonna give him a punch. One lethal. I don't know
You're
if
gonna
that
punt
hit.
them.
Let's see.
A 12 against the.
That does not hit.
You have the second attack, right?
In a second.
Oh,
What was
this
that?
Is so,
Please.
this is so delicious.
I think I could conserved combat.
Oh yeah, so you have a total of 3 attempts at an unarmed strike on your turn.
It could be, dude.
Oh no!
Come on.
Also doesn't hit.
I think. Really? One more try.
We'll try. Otherwise, I'm just gonna chase after him again.
Just gotta roll higher than a 5. Well, technically, if we're talking in rounds, right? If she's close enough to melee, the next round, if he tries to run away, she has an opportunity attack.
19
That's
hits.
Pink.
And then he has to make a strength save against.
Come on, boy. How strong are you?
Let me go back to fighting style. DC is 8,
Oh,
12.
What's the DC?
What was it?
Yeah, I cut out just.
17.
Okay,
Oh.
so he just beats
I
it.
know.
So, you still get to roll for damage.
Yeah. Come here, dude. I believe that was 2d6 explosive.
yeah.
All right, so you hear a resounding crack as you swipe at his legs and just, but he manages to hold himself well enough to not be knocked to the ground. After your first couple of swipes, which is just sort of one wide as you're just like swinging rapidly, trying to anticipate his movements, he managed to evade. But that last one sort of swipes at him and lands with a solid crack. As this happens, you hear just like a as this muscly, just like pink four-legged creature jumps from a nearby rooftop and lands with a swipe at you. And
I'm starting to think the 1% or 2% aren't just tyrants.
you do... Yeah, it gets to make 2 attacks against you.
Yeah! Don't hit. Yeah!
boy!
I love... So, yeah, neither of those hit, as it just like... As these 2 claws come down at you, as this liquor just lands in the middle of this fray, and the inside is still trying to... just legging it and running away. You see several more of these creatures starting to flood the streets, in addition to some more zombies that are gathering about.
Would if he's getting away from her, would she get a opportunity attack?
She would, as if she was in since she was in melee range before.
Hey, dude.
But you can't
Just
do
knock
it.
him
I
out.
think
That's all you got to do.
Oh my god.
still doesn't hit. I think takedown is
come
only a
on.
once a turn thing.
Oh
too.
wait, damn, I didn't mean to roll that again.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
but she can knock him
just
out
an
though.
opportunity attack. So you swipe and you miss, and he continues running out across that street as he continues making his way down into the inner city.
Making his way downtown, walking real fast.
She's just gonna fall after him again.
Okay. The looker gets to make another opportunity attack against you. An 18 to hit. Which doesn't hit. And as you move through the streets, you do have another crowd of zombies that you gotta kind of maneuver past. You could continue giving chase, but you're gonna have another 5 chances as zombies here.
Well, tactically speaking, how fast are you? Just with your normal movement,
Without dashing?
without dashing. Does Phantom Dash give you a bonus action disengage, or is it just a bonus action dash?
Just a bonus action dash. But if I disengage, I still have like
Still have like
60
90.
dash.
Yeah, you still have like 90 movement and all. So you're still,
Right.
you won't need your full round to.
Because you're close to him now. He can't get away from you.
Oh, I'll use my action to disengage and still chase after them 90 feet.
You should get next round.
Yeah, that's true, but there's also to keep in account, since this is sort of miniaturized combat.
Right, yeah,
like
that's true.
this
They
is
would-
also
then
taking into
they'd be able
account
to get it close.
actions, as well.
Yeah.
So they can still make an attack, but they wouldn't be opportunity attacks. So they would still be
That's
able
true,
to get some
so-
licks in there.
Either way, it's the same, because you could either go through them and take attacks, or wait, and then they come to get attacks and go through them.
Oh, I just made the chat do something weird. Okay, hold
I
on, let me
think the
fix it.
disengage would be better because at least I'm not taking the opportunity
Well, in order for you to disengage, you have to wait till next round, and by the time next round comes along, they will have come up to you and hit you anyways, or made attacks against you with their movement. So because you used your action to attack this time, you would have to. You're gonna take their attacks.
This all still the same round.
Yeah.
Alright, she's just gonna dash through then.
Alright, you're just dashing through. Alright, so you are going to receive a whole bunch more attempts.
Oh no.
3 of them hit.
3 of them?
Wow.
Let me see. Yeah, though. Oh, wow. Yeah.
Oh no, she might shut down.
Oh, wait. Actually, don't need to roll that. So you take...
Okay, no, we still good.
10 points of piercing damage. Because you're immune to that necrotic.
Oh boy.
But you are grappled.
I think that also puts her in...
What was that?
It also puts her in danger.
Ah.
Well,
That reduces your movement to what, 45 feet?
5? I think I know what I'm gonna do. Where's my secret? Yeah,
You have a secret weapon?
secret weapon.
Oh
Yeah,
boy.
hold on. I am going to bonus action haste.
All right. So you are hasted. You still, well, you're still grappled. So he is still get away. But if you could get out of these grapples, then you've got insane speed. And plus, you've got the additional action now.
Yeah.
She's
And
throwing
she's going
out.
to try to break out of that grapple.
She's throwing out all of the fancy tricks, and we can't see any of it. We're just sitting there, just like, where is she?
What is it to break a grapple?
It would be a
Athletics or
or
acrobatics.
acrobatics. Yeah.
On, break the grapple. I'm not gonna let this dude get away. Break the grapple.
Oh,
Yeah, get out of that grapple!
So
Break
you're
all
just
the
like
grapples.
Yeah, I'll say that's effective against the general grapple condition that is afflicting you right now. Even though there are multiple people like closing in on you, you have these zombies that are just like "Rrr," and just like grabbing you from every side, but you're just hulk out of it and then just take off, running full speed.
Fast as she can go currently. So that counts as an action, right?
Yeah, that would be one of your actions. That's
One of
like-
my actions.
Yeah, that's
So she could still 30 feet.
No, yeah, you can still dash and disengage, basically, which would, even if you only use one dash, all that movement is doubled again by haste. So there's no point in even measuring your distance at that point. So you're readily able to get to anyone within your view right
It'd be my
now.
regular speed, wouldn't it? Because I'm in danger.
Oh, right, because you're also halved. So yeah, it's basically
Yeah,
still.
so it'd be
Either
regular.
way, you can still pretty well catch up to the Ensign, who's just a regular Hume.
Where is he?
Can't attack him this round,
But you can get close.
but I'll probably get him next round.
Actually, can't you attack him this round?
I think I've used all my actions.
Did you bonus
Catch up to
action? Did you bonus action?
Can't use my bonus action to attack if I didn't use my action.
Okay.
But you could use it to dash.
Can use it to dash, yeah.
But yeah, she has no actions to attack.
Well, she only used one of her actions to break the grapple.
And then disengage.
Oh yeah, and disengage as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so you could catch up with him, but you could get an opportunity attack basically as he's attempting to still go away.
He just has to fail one strength save. You gotta hit him.
Just a fail one. Come on, dude. Basic.
That hits.
He has
Get him on the
to
ground.
fall unconscious from non-leaf. That works too.
Either
Then I
one.
can just pick him up over my shoulder.
Either one. Trip him or knock him out.
Oh. Boy.
12 points of damage. Alright, you just hit him with another crack as your swift mechanical movements strike him, and he needs to make another strength save.
Come on, DC 17.
That's the
Come
seven.
on!
So he still just like stumbles and he's still attempting to get away.
This freaking
At this
guy.
point, I'm just gonna knock him unconscious before I grab him.
I've been hitting him with explosive damage this whole time.
Yeah, he is just getting battered and bruised. And by this point, that liquor that was chasing you earlier is still giving chase. And given that you're moving in bursts of movement that are just enough to keep up with him, it's been able to keep pace with you all pretty well. And like I said, some of the zombies are like kind of left in the dust, but this liquor and some of these other liquors that you see moving along the rooftops are starting to give chase a bit.
Is this dude gonna keep running?
He is still running, but one of these liquors seems to be going after him.
Oh.
As you guys are just getting closed in by all of the infected running around in this surface area, there's at this point what has accumulated into a pretty sizable horde of zombies going behind you, and some liquors that are moving around trying to cut you off. But I'll say one of the liquors gets a full round of attacks against Enyo, and another one against the Ensign. This is against Enyo, so that's a natural. That one super misses. That one not super misses, but still misses. And then the two against Ensign Mosley doesn't hit.
His liquors better
Does
not kill him.
No!
And so he takes.
You start telling me he's dead.
That was the exact number of hit points he had left.
No, he had 10. He had 10 hit points left. 10.
So.
You had 10?
I was doing the math. Yeah, it's 10.
Do you have 10?
No, I have him down for 9.
Oh!
Because I'm
Damn
like,
it!
because
I'm
I'm
not-
like that 12 or what was it that like? Because
he-
altogether he took like what 21 explosive.
Yeah.
Because it was like 12 and
Yeah.
30
9.
hit points!
Yeah.
No!
No, he had 31.
So, yeah, you made me think for a second there. I was like, what? Oh, no. He, so as he's running along, this liquor just comes along and just slashes across as a spurt of blood comes out of his throat, just, and he stumbles and falls to the ground as you see this something just falls out of his pocket and clatters across the ground. You see a familiar looking hard drive fall from his grasp.
Still the hard drive!
Grab it and run.
That's exactly what she's doing. She's like, okay, yeah.
Well, there he goes.
Gonna grab it and run.
And at this point, you hear, because at this point you guys have traveled a fair bit further towards the inner city. You hear more than just the sounds of the infected coming on your heels, more than just the sounds of these liquors hissing in front of you, but also these heavy.
Nope.
Yes.
A tyrant.
Coming from the alleyway ahead of you, next to where that hard drive is located.
Oh, hey, Mark.
So can I like run, grab it, disengage, and then use the rest of my actions to get the hell out of it?
You do see what looks to be a tyrant emerging from that alleyway, basically right next to it.
Oh, hi, Mark.
It's not Mark.
Ah!
This seems to be one out in the wild.
I repeat, can I run, get the hard drive, disengage, and bolt?
You can, but you're going to, well, you will still be taking an attack, because as I established, still has his action available. Although, you have such an incredible speed that it's hard to figure the logistics of this. Because technically speaking, within the context of a turn, you would be able to get in and out, just like...
Make it, and well, I think this is a...
This is a contested roll, I think.
No, I think this has to be an initiative roll.
Yeah, this has to be an initiative roll. That's the only way to resolve this. So, make a quick initiative check.
2 people with held actions. Which one goes first?
Basically.
Okay, do this. That was almost a 1.
Okay, let's see.
Wow.
Cool. So,
What?
you
Okay, then.
This is insane!
you dash forward in one quick burst of motion, and just slow-mo anime style, as you close in and reach for it, you pause for a split second as you notice, like, its foot just resting atop this hard drive, just sort of not stepping on it, but just like pressing down enough to not let it be gripped as it kind of looks down.
And I strength pull it out of its grip.
I will say, you can try, but he's got a round here if you do.
Question. Hold up. Tactically speaking, what's the distance that your takedown can move somebody?
Let me.
You just put them down within 5 feet of you. At a point within 5 feet.
Oh, within 5 feet. Okay, if it was within 10.
I do have something else though. Where is it? I also have. Maybe is it under physicality? I think it's under physicality. I don't know if I'd be able to do it on him though. Once per turn, when you hit with an unarmed strike, you can force your target to make a strength saving throw.
Oh.
On a fail, they're knocked back 15 feet.
Brute force.
Oh, right.
I could try to do that. Doesn't say it's limited to a size.
Yeah.
So
Brute force him. Straight tackle him.
tackle him, but I
Just like
shove him back. Since it's strictly a strength.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
however
the
you want to flavor
thing is,
it. Yeah, what you're doing in this scenario, but you need to make an attack.
She's gonna brute force him. She's just gonna go and just ram into him, like with a. Gonna have her right arm, like kind of out, like in front of her, and just goes to ram straight into her.
All right, just
Football stiff arm.
yeah, just stiff arm.
Stiff arm.
out of the way. I got
All right,
shit to
go
do.
for it. You can make like 4 attacks now too, so you got a lot of chances here. But I think the brute
Team,
force
is that
you could
it?
only attempt once per turn.
You
So-
can attempt. Yeah, they have one chance to make the save.
Yeah, but you have multiple chances to hit. But so that one hits.
Yeah.
And so he needs to make his strength save, in addition to taking damage.
Ooh,
I think twice damage.
that's pretty good.
Alright. These I need actually I'm not gonna look at what he rolls because I need to figure out the DC.
Okay, strength save.
Oh no. He needs to roll low.
One.
One. 2!
11.
Oh! He fails!
So you just come through, and with that same momentum, just like recalibrate as you're reaching for the hard drive, and just recalibrate upwards, and just turn it into a stiff arm with that full momentum, and just as you ram into him, this massive creature just gets offset from its balance, not expecting this display, having its foot forward and everything, poor balancing position, and just falls backwards and just stumbles back 15 feet and skids across the ground as it sort of tumbles and rights itself by the end of it. But you've got the hard drive in front of you.
Picks it up and she is gone.
Yeah, no, haste is no joke at this point. It's
Oh,
just,
yeah.
Bye.
Yeah, and if only she had regen, I could get her out of danger.
And at this
Well, it's like
point,
him.
as you
She's
look,
still-
as you basically turn around, the street is pretty crowded behind you. I'm gonna put it this way: you don't see much of a way out in that direction. You've got liquors closing in on that side, and a crowd of zombies moving through the alleyways and exiting and populating this street. I mean, you could try to get through. There would be a lot of attacks involved, or you could try to go a different route, try and go through another, try and find a different street or something nearby, a different alleyway to slip into. But you can't. The way from which you came is basically cut off from you. Well, I guess not strictly cut off from you. You could try. There's
Is
going to be
there
great
anywhere else
danger.
we can go?
Make a perception check.
That tyrant is just there, like, confused.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta, like,
What?
push back 15 feet, like, whoa, hold on.
By this robot. 14. You see a good lay of your options. You have some a different alleyway to one side. You've got the crowd that you could attempt to charge through in front of you. You've got the tyrant behind you, and you've got. You actually do have a manhole on the street between you and the crowd. If you want to attempt to get back
That's
into
a
the
sewer,
sewers,
right?
you can get back into the sewers. You won't be you'll be in a different region, but you can get back down under.
But is that still, like, in the midst of that entire crowd?
Basically,
Is that kind of...
Oof.
they'll be hot on your heels, but you can get back down.
Would they be able to attack if I tried to...
Actually, no, they wouldn't be able to attack you because that's between you and them, a fair distance.
Oh.
You quick.
But what if she can't open the man?
Shoot it.
I'm trying to think of what this manhole looks like. It looks like a sewer, right? Like a sewer.
Yeah, like
hole
a sewer.
thing?
Yeah, a sewer, like those metal discs that are on top of, that are in the road.
You just moved the tyrant. You're fine.
It's also true. I also allowed Mosley to move a manhole cover without a roll, so
Okay. She's
we'll
gonna
take
go
a
down.
moment, but
That's just one of your actions.
yeah, it's basically it's exactly one of your
Of
many
which you have
actions.
several.
So
She's
you
going
hear
down the
that
manhole.
of that tyrant attempting to give chase, but you just like slip your fingers into the opening for grip, and then just fling that manhole cover just off of it as it this heavy piece of metal just clatters across the street, and you
It hits a zombie.
Yeah.
just dive into that hole and land back into the dark depths of the sewers with the hard drive separated from your group. If you at this point, if you're going to keep running, you could pretty easily lose anybody that's giving chase, even if they go down the hole. Just because of the sheer speed that you have right now.
Still running.
Alright, so you're
that's-
still running.
She's gonna try and head back in the direction, like, where she...
Yeah, so
He
you've...
has 4 dashes at 30 feet.
Oh, so are you trying to like when you get into there and you start running, your character's trying to gauge like the direction you came
Yeah.
from?
Okay. Yeah, just
Oh.
kind of using navigation. I'll say,
Be a survivor.
Yeah, I was gonna say, this might be a survival check, so make a survival check.
Get those sensors running.
That's true, that's her wisdom. The sensors.
0 was... This is just a flat 0.
No, she's not calibrated. No, she's not calibrated.
Oh no.
So you basically, you attempt to calibrate your systems and get a lay on, sort of bead on what general direction it might be, but there's something about the dankness of the sewers that is just messing with your instruments. You look around and attempt to gauge something. You bring up the sort of basically like a compass sort of system, trying to gauge a general direction, but you hear all of that commotion coming from above and a closing in from the streets, and you realize that you just need to get away from here. And so you run aimless for a time, unsure of where you're going, but knowing full well that after turning a few corners, you have lost whoever might be in pursuit.
We have walkies, right?
You now find yourself lost amid the sewers, but with the hard drive secured. And that's where we're going to pick up next time.
No!
Hey.
That was insane.
So, the party has been split.
You should have just killed him.
It finally happened.
You should have just killed him.
So,
I would have been...
that's where we're going to be picking up next time. So thank you all very much for watching. As always, these always end up taking a bit of a turn that I'm not expecting. But this is exciting. And we'll see what's going on, what else is going on in San Martinez when we return. And also see what becomes of everything that has been set in motion here. You got a communication out to Camp Clancy. Got a whole lot going on.
The communication out that we might be dead.
Yeah, that you might be dead. So, next time we'll continue with this little adventure. But thank you all very much for watching. We'll be back next week, same time slot. And remember, tomorrow there is a live stream on Bragger's channel, at which he's going to premiere a trailer for one of our big upcoming projects, Trial of the Century. It's been a long time coming. So look forward to that, and look forward to seeing that uploaded on our YouTube channel within that week. But until then, we'll see you all later. Peace. Squared. Have a good night. God bless.
Good night, sweet dreams, all the good things.